Hello everyone, welcome back to Shred Guitar in the 80s. Today's going to be a fun day. We're going to look at a really cool tune from Yngwie. It's off the Trilogy album, and the song's called Liar. The song Liar is just a great song. It's just chock full of all sorts of cool chord progressions and all sorts of cool neoclassical things. It's one of my favorite songs off the Trilogy album. And the cool thing about it is it's great to practice tapping on 2 and 4 over. On the album he's doing like a harmony over like... But what I did was just combine the harmony parts into thirds, so we get... And that's over an A5 chord. And you can see I'm tapping on tune 4, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the verse he does an E pedal, just kind of pedaling off an E note. And here's the run, he's going... And the run is out of the harmonic minor scale, and he's sort of outlining a diminished chord. And slow it would be this. So that's 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 7, 6. And then back to the E pedal or into the next section. I love the chorus, it's just quintessential Yngwie and so neoclassical sounding, just a killer chord progression. He's playing D minor, then he plays C major with the D in the bass, and then he plays G major with the D in the bass, then he plays B flat major with the D in the bass, and then he plays F5, does a little run to C5. So you're basically hitting the chords on the upstrokes, like, except for the first one. And you're just kind of pedaling the D in between. In a future episode, I'll go over the arpeggio section. It's a really cool section of the song. So I just finished reading this old interview in Guitar World magazine. It's the Yngwie Malmsteen cover story from 1988 when he released the Odyssey album. And it has a really cool article from Matt Resnikoff. Matt wrote a lot for Guitar World in the late 80s, and he might have even been an editor there for a while. But he has a real way with words. I thought I'd read a little bit of this. It says, and somewhere in the dungeon-like cavity in the industrial outskirts of a large metropolis, Yngwie Malmsteen is conjuring Paganini and trading furious fours with his keyboardist sparring partner, Jens Johansson. Firestorming arpeggios clash with harpsichord fury as the two lock horns like warring Simbadian demons. Their moves are swift and purposeful. Notes pour forth like blood spilt. Jaws drop, fists clench, elevate, and celebrate becoming again. Old man has a real way with words there, doesn't he? This article is really interesting. This is after his car crash. And this is kind of the height of neoclassical when the backlash started, which I hated. I remember when that started. And they asked Mike Varney about all the Yngwie clones and everyone being compared to him and the backlash of the whole neoclassical movement. And here's what he had to say. I think it's pretty interesting for the time. The thing that I think is really sad about the whole classical rock genre, Varney explains, is that people tend to lump one player in with the next. Someone will say, Paul Gilbert sounds just like Yngwie, Vinnie Moore sounds just like Yngwie, or Tony Macalpine sounds just like Yngwie. But that's a very narrow vision. So many people have 10 ears and can't differentiate the nuances. You can't really compare Tony Macalpine with Yngwie Malmsteen. Their chord progressions and use of scales are entirely different. The only thing similar is that there's a classical tone to some of their music, but they don't sound the same. And I think looking back in hindsight, that's true. You know, if I put on a Vinnie Moore album or Tony Macalpine, it doesn't sound like Yngwie at all to me. I mean, the chord progressions are different, the style, the touch, the tone. You know, Yngwie had his own unique thing, and I don't really think anyone ever really copied it. And I don't think the other players were necessarily trying to copy Yngwie exactly. I think they were just really inspired by the sound of it, like I am, and like a lot of us are. I really love the neoclassical movement, and the backlash started about 88, and then I remember by 89, the movement was kind of fizzled out, and the press didn't want to cover it anymore. And then Guns N' Roses came in, and the grunge stuff, which I like a lot of the grunge stuff, by the way. Chris Cornell is an amazing singer, one of my favorite singers of all time. But, you know, I guess that's what happens. Everything goes in phases. I never quit loving the neoclassical stuff. You know, the rock guitar from the 80s was a huge influence on me, and obviously with my channel you can tell. The thing I love about Yngwie the most is his touch, his tone, just that reckless abandon. I mean, just that going for it, that passion he has in his playing, that take no prisoners approach of guitar playing is really killer. If you like Trilogy and the song Liar, I think you'll really dig this Joe Stump album called Rapid Fire Rondo. This is the 1998 release, and you can really hear the Yngwie influences as well as Blackmore and Uli Roth and Schenker and Gary Moore. Just chock full of cool stuff, and Joe's great with the up-tempo stuff like we're talking about, that tapping on 2 and 4 and just pedal to the metal grooves, that neoclassical metal groove. Joe's great at it. I mean, he swings. He's got the swing with it. And his videos and instructional videos and books are great if you want to learn more in that style. I would definitely recommend getting some Joe Stump stuff and watching some of his videos. And he works out with the metronome, and it's just great stuff. And his playing is super melodic, and he's not reinventing the wheel, as he says. I mean, he wears his influences proudly. But boy, he does it so well, and it's so much fun to listen to. And he's a really nice guy and a lot of fun to listen to in interviews. I really like Joe Stump, and I really enjoy his music. So check it out if you get a chance. I think it's streaming on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's still available. It's Rapid Fire Rondo by Joe Stump. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out with me. If you haven't and you would like to, like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And to everyone that has, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's just amazing, all your comments and everything. I'm really enjoying this. I plan on doing it for a long time and covering a lot of players. And it's just a real blast for me. So thanks a lot for hanging out, and have fun picking.